Campbell High School. It's time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney, if I can say that right. With me again, the excitable boy, the man who's seen the werewolves from London, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. Big O, nice to be back with you. You and Bob had a fun time Tuesday night. Colonels, not as much fun. They dropped the close ball game to Appomattox. We'll get to discuss that and more, I'm sure. But how are you on a Friday night?
Hey, it's a rare Friday night appearance for me. I'm usually at the beach, so it's good to be here with you tonight, Kyle.
It is. I think we'll have our share of fun as well, although, like I said, you and Bob did a fantastic job, and you seem to have a good time in the process. Very quickly, before we hear from the head coach, Troy Harris, how do you think the Colonels will bounce back? A couple days of practice after a close loss to, admittedly, a very good Appomattox ball club.
Yeah, what seemed to be a game that was well in hand with about 3.5 minutes left. Colonels led by 7. The main thing that really hurt him coming down the stretch was the press, and then going 4-15 in the second half from the free throw line. But again, we'll talk about that later. I think they'll rebound just fine here tonight.
Yeah, and I got a chance to catch up with Coach Harris. Subway pregame show, by the way, Subway Eat Fresh. We'll discuss many of the dining options at Subway, although there's obviously no way we could discuss all of them, not on this one broadcast anyway. I was going to say, though, Coach Harris touched on many of those topics. I recorded an interview with him just moments ago, and he'll talk about those things, the free throw shooting, the Appomattox game, and then he'll tell us a little bit about the William Campbell Generals. All that and more when the Subway pregame show returns. It's William Campbell. It's Altavista. Tip-off about 17 minutes away. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Feller's Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Feller's Chevrolet in Altavista.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal Exterior Paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert Interior or Exterior Paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert Paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Naruna. It's the William Campbell Generals hosting the Altavista Colonels, talking once again with the head coach of the Colonels, Mr. Troy Harris. And Coach Harris, let's review before we preview a loss to Appomattox Tuesday, a hard-fought game. You guys get out to the fast start, and then they really have a good second half. What'd you learn from your second meeting against the Raiders Tuesday?
Well, I was really proud of how we played up till about the 3-minute mark in the fourth quarter. You know, they're a really good team, and we're shorthanded not having Nelson. And we had a lead we led the whole game, hit 2 threes in the first half. I was like, oh, man, this is our night. We're going to hit a bunch of threes, and we didn't hit another one all night. So it was just one of those battle and grind games, you know, those classic games that are 40-some to 40-some. You don't score a whole lot of points, but it's a defensive struggle. And, you know, we didn't hit our free throws down the stretch, but other than that, I thought our defense was did pretty well, and just didn't capitalize on some of the some of the chances we had late and made a few key turnovers and really shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, that start that you guys had, I think it was a dunk from Lawrence and then the back-to-back threes really kind of blew the roof off the place. Do you worry sometimes in those moments that you get too high, or you're just, hey, let's just take all the big moments we can get whenever?
No, I definitely think that we get some of that, wow, we just made a big play, so we're kind of satisfied with what we're doing, and maybe we don't get back the next possession, and then they can get their run going. And I think we might have thought it was over at the beginning. They were just going to lay down and give it to us, and they definitely didn't do that and fall back and beat us.
Yeah, well, and a good ball club, too, no doubt about that. What was the message in practice Wednesday and Thursday? Did you challenge you guys a bit, or was it sort of business as usual?
It was more or less business as usual. Disappointed we lost. We spent way too much time at the foul line probably. We didn't do enough stuff otherwise. We spent so much time at the foul line, I didn't really know what else to do. We were 11 of 25. I was like, if we just hit 6 more free throws, we win the game probably. So our defense is stellar. It's always going to be that way. I just wish shots would start falling for us and hit some stuff at the free throw line.
Well, hopefully tonight will be the night in town to play the William Campbell Generals. Last time against them, it was a 10-point win in a game that you probably felt like you should have beat them by more, but the final score is sometimes not really reflective. Tell us about the game plan tonight against the Generals.
Yeah, you're right. When we do get out on a lead, it seems like we get a little complacent and let the team come back on us a little bit. We've shown that a couple times this year, get up 20 or 25, and then they immediately cut it to 16 for whatever reason. But William Campbell's a really athletic ball club. They're scrappy. They're a little bit wild. Khalil Boyd, number 23, he's on a tear his last 2 games. I think he has 20-some, and he had 33 against Nelson County the other night. So he's a big point of emphasis for us. If we don't find out where he is, we'll be in a lot of trouble tonight. Got a couple of big guys down low. They're sort of irritators and, put their body on you and throw you around a little bit. And, I think the emphasis is stopping Boyd and not letting them get a hot start.
Well, let me ask you something. Their last 2 games, you mentioned that. They give up 88 to Dan River on Tuesday and then 95 to Nelson on Wednesday. Do you think they might be in that mode where they're sacrificing a little bit of defense just to get back and try and score again? I'm not saying they're intentionally letting the other team score, but You get the feeling that maybe defense is not priority number 1 for them.
Right. I think they are in a little bit of a run-and-gun style right now. I talked to a couple people that were at those games, and they said they were playing a lot of man defense, which I wasn't expecting that because traditionally they don't run a lot of man. But they were in a man defense, and they were scoring, and then William Campbell would just get it and go, and then they'd score. So it seems more to be a fast-paced game, and we prepared for that the past couple days in practice for a fast-paced game. There's not going to be many half-court sets tonight where we, run a minute and a half off the clock. It's going to be get it. Well, they're going to be all over us, go shoot a layup, and then you got to sprint back and stop them.
Are you concerned about the tempo? Or are you going to try and slow it down, or just see what happens and play it by ear?
I think we're pretty good at adapting to other people, but I think we're going to we're going to try to D them up in the half court. But if they get us running and gunning, we got people that can make layups, I know. Sure. So, but yeah, we're not going to sacrifice our defensive values to get into a run and gun shootout, I don't think.
Right. Excellent stuff, Coach. We'll let you run. Tip off between the Generals and the Colonels about 15 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Naruna. It's the William Campbell Generals taking on the Altavista Colonels. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Big O. We heard from Coach Harris there. He said it was pretty much business as usual Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty pleased with the way his team played, with the exception of the last 3 or 4 minutes in the fourth quarter when it seemed like nothing would go right for the Colonels. You agree with those assessments from Coach Harris?
I think it's really accurate, and I think one of the things that Bob and I talked about during the broadcast was that as Appomattox continued to be in that full court press, as the Colonels attacked, they would get the ball to the middle and get that 3-on-2 situation. They would take their foot off the gas and kind of bring it back out to half court and try to reset their offense. But that's the deal.
Sometimes when you break that full court pressure and you've got those odd man fast breaks, a 3-on-2, a 2-on-1, you're better off just to continue to attack and go towards the rim. Sometimes it's helpful to reset, and that's probably the basketball IQ right there in a nutshell, and knowing when to push and when to retreat and slow things down just a little bit. This team is growing in that regard. And obviously, when you don't have one of your high IQ guys in the form of Nelson Dews out there, that doesn't make it any easier. But that's not an excuse. The Colonels knew that hand when it was dealt. And I think they're going to play even better tonight. Let's move on from the Appomattox game just a bit, although I know we'll talk about it again here on the Subway pregame show for a moment or two. Talk about the William Campbell Generals. This is a team that can score. Khalil Boyd with 33 points his last time out. Unfortunately, though, Oscar, the Generals are giving up a lot of points as well. 98 against Nelson County Wednesday, 88 the night before against Dan River. And I asked Coach Harris about it there on the interview, and it's turned into sort of a run-and-gun style for the Generals.
Well, you talk about the Dan River game. That score was a 3 or 4 point game at the half.
Right.
I think it was 44-40 or 43-40 at the half. And, we've seen a couple of times that Dan River team be close at the half, and then the third and fourth quarter get there, and their athleticism wears you down, their length, their depth. And lo and behold, you end up you're at end of a 30-point loss. It happens quickly.
Wildcats seem to have another gear for sure. Correction, it was 95 points Nelson County scored against William Campbell on Wednesday. It was a 95-78 Governor victory. 88-58, against Dan River. And again, both of those two games were close at halftime. The Nelson County game, obviously, close throughout. I'm sure Brandon Barksdale would love to see his team play a bit more defense, even in a run-and-gun style where you're trying to get up and down the court. Still got to play some defense.
Well, you're right. And last time these two met in Altavista, the score was 64-54.
Right.
And despite that being a 10-point game, it was closer than that. There were some fouls late. A couple of players from William Campbell got in foul trouble, and then Colonels were able to stretch it out at the end and take the win.
A few more storylines for Oscar and I to discuss when we come back to the Subway pregame show. William Campbell Generals and the Altavista Colonels. You've got yourself a ringside seat for all the action on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town. English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon with Best Bet Motor Sales. Home of your 60-second guaranteed credit approval. We have 2 locations to serve you. Our first location is 29 South, 5 minutes past the airport, and location number 2 is 29 North, right in Amherst. We have over 75 clean, low mileage, late model, pre-owned vehicles for you to choose from, low down payments, low monthly payments, and warranty on all vehicles. So don't forget, guaranteed credit approval. Best Bet Motor Sales.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Senior night festivities about to get underway from William Campbell High School, so Oscar and I may have a few extra moments on the Subway pregame show while we're talking about it, Oscar. 3 great locations: Main Street, inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. 3 great locations to eat fresh. And let me send a shout-out to the Foster Fuels crew. Angie, Nicole, Callie, Whitney, Alyssa, and Dylan. A couple of them in some combination have got to be working tonight up there. Hopefully they're tuned into the ball game. Should have a good game on our hands tonight, Oscar. You know, senior night sometimes can play a role in things. You never know, the extra emotion, the extra energy, and there is a good crowd in the gymnasium tonight. Sometimes that can help the home team.
You know, Khalil Boyd, Staten, storied careers here, both on the field and on the hardwood. And, you never know what can happen. Again, this was a close ball game last time these 2 teams played, and to anticipate anything less than that tonight would be a mistake.
A 10-point game last time, and you can be sure that Coach Harris has cautioned his guys not to overlook William Campbell. Certainly the Colonels can't overlook anybody just because of the name on the jersey. When you've won 3 state championships in a row, Oscar, you've got the bullseye, the target on your back. You're always getting everybody's best shot. Throw the fact that it's a rivalry game against the boys from Naruna. There's plenty of familiarity there. It's got all the makings of a close ball game.
Well, and another factor to consider is the Colonels are already locked in number 1 spot in the Conference 44 tournament. So does that play in?
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a valid point by you. Colonels have locked up the number 1 seed in the Conference 44 tournament. Perhaps in question now would be the number 1 seed in the East region. I believe Central Lunenburg was in second at last glance, and the Colonels were in first. We saw Central Lunenburg firsthand in the Jeff Koch Memorial Invitational back over Christmas. Colonels did get the win against Lunenburg, but make no mistake, that's a good Charger squad. That game could have gone either way.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you get this deep into the season. That was very, very early in the season.
Yeah.
And teams change. They grow. They take to different coaching. And, again, anything can happen.
Anything can and will happen for sure. Oscar, I switched it up a little bit today on you at Subway. I went with just a regular ham and turkey sub. I know it's Flat Teasa Friday. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, went with Flat Teasa Friday. Rachel went with the potato soup, which she said was fabulous. So there's another item that we can add to the list of great things at Subway. You went with a regular pizza, right?
I went non-traditional. I went with a little round personal pizza, pepperoni with extra cheese, and those things they're pretty amazing too.
Yeah, they're very underrated. We talk about the Flat Teasa a lot. That round pizza, the personal pizza, has actually been around longer than the Flat Teasa at Subway, a little known fact. And they're probably underutilized by you and I, so I'm glad you tried it out. Good. Did you go with the Parmesan, the oregano on top like I did?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. I love that. Senior night festivities, as I mentioned, well, I think I said they were about to get underway before. They're officially underway now, so Oscar and I just trying to do our best to engage ourselves and you. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. We're going to have basketball before you know it here between the Generals and the Colonels. But for now, let's step aside and catch our breath, and we'll come back. Tip-off less than 5 minutes away between William Campbell and Altavista. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our FirstNet mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnetbk.com.
And it's free, so search FirstNet mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. All house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The House Salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg. This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One-stop mart where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food. Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show about to wrap up here from William Campbell High School. Before it does, let's remind you first of our starting lineup. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English is your complete home center, your headquarters for Pratt and Lambert Paint. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Highview Motors, GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. El Cazador on Main Street in Altavista. Be sure to try their new menu. KCD Maintenance. Ken can do it maintenance. Call 665-1333. Big shout out to Kenneth Hankins, too. He's a big KD Country fan. He's a big basketball fan. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction service. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29, just south of the airport. The Moose Family Center in Altavista, bringing communities together and celebrating life. Zaxby's on Wards Ferry Road in Lynchburg. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. And Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. We maybe don't give quite enough love to Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Oscar. Big fans of those guys and what they do. They're all around the Altavista, Gretna area. Matter of fact, they'll go wherever you need them to go, let's be honest. And you can't forget, speaking of going wherever you need to go, you can listen to the Colonels wherever you are, or your team for that matter. Thanks to Chad Rakos, your Allstate agent in Windhurst. He sponsors our streaming online audio, so if you're across the pond like Oscar's sister, if you're up in Manhattan like Jay Rosser, if you're out there in Rancho Cucamonga like the Gafford family was over Christmas, you're always able to hear some quality high school basketball action.
And I'd be willing to bet somebody from the Gafford family's tuned in right now.
I think you're right. I think Ty Gafford is at the Lady Colonels game. It's senior night over there for the Lady Colonels. He's probably got the earphones in. And Oscar and I are
we're celebrity spotting through the crowd.
And there is some celebrities out here. It's always a fun trip to Naruna. You see the old friends. You make some new friends. It's a good time up here for sure.
Well, and you know, it is senior night here, and And as William Campbell's honoring their seniors, you go down McKenna Neighbors, Tiberius Ewell, Terrell Staten, Chris Copeland, Khalil Boyd, Nick Witcher. Boy, all those names are familiar and been around this program. Obviously, they've been around a long time and made a big impact on both on and off the court and both on and off the gridiron for this group as well.
Sure have. Been calling a lot of those names for many, many years now. It's an interesting roster for William Campbell this year, Oscar. They've got all those seniors and just one junior and then 3 sophomores. So it's a very senior-heavy group, and Brandon Barksdale's going to have some seriously big shoes to fill next year when all these fellas leave. And it does look like the senior night festivities have pretty much wrapped up here on the Subway pregame show. As we mentioned, it's a lot of seniors, so it takes some time to honor all those guys out there.
Yeah, that's right. JV game earlier today. The Colonels won by about 20. Got out to an early lead. William Campbell just never able to make the effort and get back over the hill and get back in that ball game.
DeMichael Lee has the guys playing very hard on the junior varsity level. 2 more games left for them. No playoffs, obviously. Colonels will have their senior night stuff on Monday against Dan River. Hopefully you can make it out to the gym on Bedford Avenue. If not, tune us into 105.5 KD Country. Time for the national anthem here from William Campbell High School, so we'll step aside. It's the Colonels. It's the Generals. It's just moments away on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal exterior paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paint. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Starting lineup being announced at William Campbell. It was a lengthy pregame show, we know it, folks, but glad you've stuck around and hung around. Starters tonight for the William Campbell Generals. They're going to go with number 2, McKenna Neighbors. Number 12, Tiberius Ewell. Number 15, Tyrell Staten. Number 23, Khalil Boyd. Number 25, Nicholas Witcher. They're all seniors. We mentioned there's a bunch of them. They'll bring some seniors in off the bench. Normally on senior night, you could start all your seniors. For William Campbell, this is pretty much the normal starting 5 anyway. And they've got some more seniors to bring off the bench. Colonels, Oscar, they're going to go with the starting lineup, I believe, same one as Tuesday night, correct?
That's exactly right. Same starting lineup as Tuesday night. Chancellor Mormon filling in for the absent Nelson Dews.
It'll be Mormon, Galliard, Poindexter, Malbeck, and McClure. Colonels in the road, black jersey, orange outline, orange number, orange Altavista written over the number, a little bit of striping down the side. William Campbell in the home, white jerseys. Got the silver numbers, the blue William Campbell, William written over the number, Campbell written under it, and then the alternating colors down the side. And the teams have assembled at jump circle here. We're ready for 32 minutes of regulation basketball.
Quick shout-out before we jump ball to Steve Dalton. Dalton's floor. Steve fell and broke his hip. I'm sure he's listening. I understand he's in a bit of a grumpy mood from his daughter Lauren, who happens to be married to Coach Troy Harris. So, quick recovery, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
And we're off.
Obviously a big Colonels fan. Galliard won the tip, but smacked it over to really nobody, and William Campbell was able to recover in the backcourt. Trying to throw it into the mid-post to Tyrell Staten, who was moving across the paint to his right, but he was fouled by Josh McClure. McClure just a little bit too much body on Staten there. And William Campbell will inbound underneath their own scoring bucket. 7:43 left to play in the first quarter. Boyd tosses it in. They throw it back towards midcourt. This is Tiberius Ewell. One bounce to the far sideline to Boyd. Boyd's going to use the left-hand dribble and work slowly. Lost it momentarily. Waist-high dribble, chest pass to the left wing to Ewell. Ewell the head fake and then fires up the second chance try. Won't go in. Galliard having to battle for the rebound with Nicholas Witcher just outside the paint. And they'll whistle Witcher with his first personal foul. First one on the team. 7:26, still no score in the first.
We talked about Witcher in the first game, a very physical presence. Not that tall, but he is strong. A Charles Barkley type build.
Uses the position well down there in the low post. Galliard, meanwhile, trapped in the low post. Double team, lost the basketball. Colonel's got it back going the other way. Malback tries to save it and ends up hitting the corner of the scorer's table. Nice effort, but he could not recapture it before going out of bounds. This is general basketball. William Campbell working right to left from Oscar and I's perspective. High up in the press box at William Campbell High School. Staten catches between left wing and left sideline. Now gets it on the return pass from Neighbors, swatted away from Galliard. Lawrence Galliard, team leader in blocks, just adds to that total right there. Lawrence has racked up, Mr. Briggs, 22 of them on the year now.
That was a nice move, nice pick, and nice drive by Terrell Staten.
Neighbors crossover, step back jumper is good from the left elbow. 16-footer goes for McKenna Neighbors. It's a 2-0 early lead for William Campbell. 6:45 left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center first quarter. High double screen for Malback. He dribbles off it and then passes to the right wing to Poindexter. Now it's McClure. NBA range 3. Skips off the iron, no good. Malback's going to try and save another one. He does, but unfortunately to a William Campbell player. Generals will slow it down, and Boyd is just going to jog it across the timeline. Check the rear view mirror to make sure Malback wasn't coming to strip him. Fires up an unorthodox shot attempt. Won't go down. Neighbors grabs the offensive rebound for the Generals. Malback trying to poke it away from William Campbell, but can't. Here's Ewell. Spot up, three-pointer, no good. Battle for it underneath, and it's tapped out of bounds along the baseline. It'll go to Altavista. 6:11 left to play in the first. It's a 2-0 general lead.
And we've talked about Lawrence Galliard. A little bit more time in the weight room over the next year will help him tremendously. And on that rebound, Witcher was able to just kind of move him out of the way and prevent him from getting that rebound.
And as you pointed out, Nicholas Witcher only at 6'1", but absolutely a force down low. He can move you around. McClure, pump fake, driving in from the left wing. Had a couple Generals draped around him. Pick your favorite William Campbell player. It's actually going to be on Tyrell Staten. That is your favorite William Campbell
Absolutely.
player. There you go. Read your mind.
He is my favorite player, and that ball call was on the floor.
Inbound play for the Colonels. Poindexter looking somewhere to go. Sends it in the left corner to McClure. McClure head fakes the three. Couple dribbles inside. Leaves it back off for Poindexter. Poindexter tried to go off the window. Wouldn't fall. Galliard is completely bottled up. Somehow he managed to shovel the basketball towards the rim. Wouldn't go, but there's a foul.
And that's on Nick Witcher. That's his second. Not good news for William Campbell Generals.
No, he's the man that we've complimented so greatly here in the first couple minutes of basketball for his presence down low. Galliard's first free throw will fall. Gives the Colonels their first points of the contest. 2-1, William Campbell on top. 5:43 left to play in the first. Glad you're joining us for some Friday night basketball. Second one won't go for Galliard, but there's Daquan Poindexter. Offensive rebound and an extra possession for the Colonels. Strides into the paint from the left side. Fouled as he puts up a shot attempt. Neighbors got his hands on him. This will send Daquan Poindexter to the charity stripe.
Daquan 7 of 10 from the line on Tuesday night. The one bright spot at the free throw line for the Colonels.
As Daquan Poindexter lines up the first free throw. Good time to remind you, Oscar Briggs, that February and March, perfect opportunities to do some painting around the house. And why wouldn't you go to English's, your complete home center, to check out the complete line of Pratt and Lambert paint? Paint section at English's is fabulous. Dave Haney and I were in there earlier today. Poindexter makes the first, misses the second. 2-2 tie ball game here from Naruna. William Campbell in the white jerseys, working right to left. And they nearly lost it on the far sideline, but Neighbors was able to save it into Witcher. Nice back cut by Staten. That's rejected off the rim by McClure. Colonel's going to run the fast break. Modified 3-on-2. Nice bounce pass from Malbeck to find Mormon. Chancellor Mormon finishes with the left hand to give the Colonels their first lead of the evening, 4-2.
Great pass by the point guard, Mateo Malbeck, on that play. Stopped at the free throw line, extended, made the defense expand. Nice bounce pass to Chancellor Mormon, who finished strong.
Just got to send a shout-out to our friend Robert Duff. He's in Charlotte watching the NBA guys play. Heat versus Hornets with son Carter and his buddy Tyler Boyd. So we're a little bit envious there. Air ball goes out of bounds for the Generals, and it'll be Altavista basketball with just under 5 to play in the first.
Colonels lead 4-2. William Campbell right now in a man.
Coach Harris commented on that in the pregame interview. He said the Generals have been running a lot more man here in the last couple weeks, and he expected to see more man-to-man tonight, although certainly they can switch to the zone at any given point. Poindexter picks up a loose ball on the right wing. Now an overhead pass to Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck two-hand pass finds McClure in the mid-post. Josh McClure's shot a little too strong off the window, wouldn't fall. Rebounded away by William Campbell. They're on the attack with 4:20 left to play in the first. It's a 4-2 two-point Colonel advantage. Neighbors catch and shoot three from just left of center. No good. There's Galliard on a long rebound about 12 feet away, and that's the third on Witcher.
Boy, that wasn't a smart foul. That was 15 feet away. He had no chance of getting that ball. Certainly Nick Witcher knows better than that.
And Coach Barksdale's going to get him out now for a sub. I guess maybe the obvious comment is it a little too late? It's probably one foul too late, isn't it, Oscar?
Yeah, I think that is.
I mean, not to second guess, obviously. Brandon Barksdale didn't commit the foul. Nick Witcher did, but there's a traveling violation on Mateo Malbeck. He thinks he either got fouled or had the ball poked away by a defender. Either way, it's a turnover. Generals basketball. We've played 4 minutes here in the first quarter. We thought it might be high scoring. It's low scoring. 4-2. Colonels on top. Generals in trouble. This is Evan Daniel in the ball game now. Also Joshua Rosser. Poked away. Malbeck got his hands on it. Ended up in McClure's hands. McClure looks it over to Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck wanted to return it to Josh, and then it's out of bounds into the hands of the general mascot. Kind of cool that William Campbell has a mascot, though, isn't it?
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier with Detective Hutcherson. Deputy Sheriff Hutcherson and Coach Harris.
Meanwhile, there's a scrum for the basketball, and the Colonels somehow come away with it. Daquan Poindexter wanted to pass, instead shoots. There's Lawrence Galliard with a free throw line rebound, striding in off the backboard and down for two. Lawrence Galliard really found himself out of position at the free throw line, but it didn't matter. The ball came his way. There's a charge taken by Josh McClure. He got in front of a speeding bullet. That's Terrell Staten, and stood his ground. Foul is on Staten. Nice job by McClure to get the feet set and take the contact.
Pick up about 8 more yards for Terrell Staten onto his career stats on that drive.
He always falls forward, doesn't he?
He does get running downhill, doesn't he?
He goes over there and has a laugh about it with McClure, pats him on the shoulder. Don't think there's any ill will there. It's a 6-2 advantage for Altavista. Their basketball in the front court. Traquan Farmer in the game now. We'll reset the 5 on the floor here in just a moment for Altavista. They send it in to the left side of the paint to McClure. McClure tried to dump it off for Daquan Poindexter, but the pass was off target. That's another turnover. Too many turnovers early in the ball game, probably for Coach Harris's liking. On the court right now for Altavista. Daquan Poindexter, Traquan Farmer, Mateo Malbeck, Cameron Hughes, and Josh McClure. Colonels in the road, black jerseys. Man-to-man defense for Altavista. Circus layup will fall for Khalil Boyd. He came down the left side of the paint, turned his back to the bucket momentarily, fired up a right-hander that somehow went down. 6-4.
I can tell you don't want to play a game of horse with Khalil Boyd.
No,
you're going to lose.
Yeah, you're always a loser in that one, I think. Malbeck rolls off a screen, head fakes at the free throw line, and they're going to whistle him for another traveling violation. That brings the William Campbell bench to their feet. They're excited about the defensive effort, or perhaps just a mistake from Mateo Malbeck. 6-4, 2:30 left to play in the first quarter. First quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Boyd circles the D to his right, driving, another wild layup. This one won't fall. Got his own rebound, though. Punches it towards the rim. He was bottled up by a couple, Colonels, and we'll see who this foul is on. Khalil Boyd is going to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Khalil Boyd not good from the line in the game against the Colonels in Altavista.
I'm sure he would like to improve, and Coach Brandon Barksdale would love to see him get better from there because he certainly takes enough trips to the free throw line. On the court right now for the Generals as Boyd misses the first. It's Boyd, Evan Daniel, McKenna Neighbors, Traquan Williams, and the final General is number 4, Joshua Rosser. Sinks 1 of 2, 6-5. Colonels now lead by 1. Cameron Hughes catches 4 feet beyond the right wing three-point line. Now dribbles to his left. It's over to Traquan Farmer. Farmer trying to travel along the baseline. He's pushed out of bounds, and that's a foul. It's on the floor. And it could be the 7th one on the Generals, though, as a team, Mr. Briggs. If so, it's going to send Traquan Farmer to the line for a 1-and-1. Looks like that's where he's set up.
Evan Daniels was the creator of the foul.
We get to see our first look at Jamal Thornhill. He checks in the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. Traquan Farmer will shoot a 1-and-1. 2:04 left to play in the first. Left-handed shooting stroke for Farmer is good on the first one. Extends the Colonels' lead to 7-5. Updates from the Lady Colonels contest in Altavista against William Campbell, courtesy of our dear friend Dave Mabry. Lady Colonels looking for the 10th one in a row, Oscar. Lady Colonels haven't lost in 2016.
Well, that's incredible.
It is.
Because it was a dismal beginning.
It did not start well for the Altavista Lady Colonels. Deborah Spencer knew she had a good team on her hands, though. Maybe some patience exercised there by Coach Spencer. Senior night for the Lady Colonels tonight. Fall-away jumper from Traquan Williams won't go. Cameron Hughes had the rebound but then lost it. Boyd fouled as he's trying a fall-away jumper from 10 feet on the right side. That won't go. He's headed back to the charity line to shoot a pair.
Fouls will be on Jamal Thornhill. That's his first.
William Campbell trailing 8-5. They were on top momentarily. They had a 2-0 lead. Then it was tied 2-2. Chancellor Mormon will check back in the basketball game. Tiberius Ewell re-enters the ball game for William Campbell. Boyd makes the first, misses the second, just a little short off front iron. Galliard grabs the rebound right in front of the hoop. Here comes Jamal Thornhill jogging it up the far sideline. He'll move to center, long chest pass to Cameron Hughes. Hughes wants to drive, got by his man nicely, but couldn't finish it off. Basketball tapped out of bounds by Evan Daniel with the right hand as he could not reel in the rebound. 1:33 left to play in the first. Oscar, it's not textbook basketball right now. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
You being kind. It's been ugly so far.
You know I like to put a positive spin on things. Malbeck catches the inbound play at the free throw, then shovels it off to Jamal Thornhill. In the hands of Chancellor Mormon now. Mormon looking somewhere to go. Finds Josh McClure streaking through the paint. McClure's shot was altered, if not completely blocked. He tried to wrestle it away from McKenna Neighbors. Neighbors has been playing some sneaky good defense. He's gotten the passing lanes, and he's deflected a few shots. Wants to try a three. Instead, he'll drive with the left hand. Tried to throw it backwards to Khalil Boyd. Pass not on target. Ends up in the Colonel bench. That's out of bounds.
Boy, as good a defensive play as he just made, it was equally as bad on the offensive end on that.
Tried to do something maybe he shouldn't have. Boy, Malbeck is just shoved to the deck and no whistle called. Coach Harris cannot believe it. They'll say the basketball is off William Campbell. Malbeck tried to bring it in from the right side for the lay-in and looked like he was bumped several times and then just flat out thrown to the hardwood. Thinking about a three now. Jab step, one dribble into the corner to Chancellor Mormon. Mormon will dribble back out up top. Now it's Malbeck. 5 feet behind the three-point line. Galliard's going to try and start from the free throw line. Instead, gives it up.
Same situation we ran into at Appomattox the other night. Not good spacing on offense on this trip.
Thornhill triggers the three. Hit the front of the iron, wouldn't go. Nice hustle play by Malbeck to keep it alive. Colonels have an extra chance. 30 seconds left to play. Coach Harris urging his guys to move without the basketball. Down to 25 seconds left to play in the first. Colonels lead by 2. McClure trying to work a low post move. Spins, fires. He's fouled on the fall-away jumper. Neighbors can't believe it. And in this case, I'm going to wonder about it myself because it didn't look like McClure got hit too hard. Certainly not when you think back to the play where Malbeck got dumped to the deck, huh?
And when you're a player, all you can ask for is consistency. We haven't seen it so far tonight. At any rate, Josh McClure goes and shoots 2, knocks down the first.
Maybe it was a make-up call for the one they didn't blow the whistle on where Mateo hit the ground so hard. Joshua Rosser back in the ballgame for William Campbell. McClure does sink the first. 21.4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. High arcing second free throw goes down as well. Daquan Poindexter at the scorer's table. He'll grab Josh McClure and enter the game. 10-6, Colonels would love to make a defensive stand here and possibly get a turnover and score one more time before the buzzer sounds.
Colonels 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. Market improvement.
Yep, Boyd's going to take his time getting into the front court. Now does. Gives it off to the left wing to Tiberius Ewell. Down to 7 seconds, and Malbeck did get a steal. He's going to try and outrace the defense. Goes to the side of the cup, and it'll fall with 1 second left. There's the buzzer to end the first, and a good way to close it out for the Colonels. They lead 12-6 over William Campbell. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 12-6. The last two coming at the hands of Mateo Malbeck. A nice pickpocket to get it away from William Campbell, and then he just outruns everybody right to the side of the rim for 2, Oscar.
Boy, interesting contrast in scoring. Colonels had 6 players score. William Campbell had 2. Colonels leading 12-6.
Certainly, Altavista had Khalil Boyd circled on their defensive strategy, probably circled and highlighted and underlined. I think you got to know where Khalil Boyd is at all times. But let's also say the other 4 guys have done a nice job on the other 4 William Campbell Generals that are on the court at any given time. It's Altavista basketball to start this second quarter. Ball back with a low pass. Poindexter had to get down low to retrieve it. Still Colonels basketball. Here's Galliard. Right elbow looking for help. Shovels it off to Josh McClure. McClure now chest pass to Daquan Poindexter in the right corner. Long cross-court pass to Mateo Malbeck. He'll try a three-pointer. Too strong. There's Galliard on the rebound. Nobody boxed him out. Galliard sticks it up and in for 2 off the glass. 14-6. Colonels extend the lead. 7:25 left to play in the second quarter. Oh, wow. Williams was all alone in the left corner. Somebody lost him, but he couldn't can the 3. Josh Rosser tries a fadeaway jumper from outside the paint. That won't go. See what the call is here. It's a foul on
33.
33. There is no 33 for either team.
Nope.
There's a 30, Josh McClure. There's a 3.
There's a 34.
Unless he called the foul on 34. There you go. Number 34 is Evan Daniel, the 5'10 sophomore for William Campbell. Josh McClure will shoot a 1-and-1 with 7:12 left to play in the second quarter. Second quarter brought to you by English's Your Complete Home Center. Now carrying a complete line of Carhartt apparel for men. McClure rattles the first free throw off the front of the iron, then the back of the iron, then the backboard, and in. Shooter's touch. Deep knee bend fires up another high arcer, and it goes in. You talk about the free throws have really improved. Yes, they have, Mr. Briggs. Double team pressure at midcourt for Altavista. They nearly got a steal. They've certainly got Boyd in dire straits. He finally gets it off to Traquan Williams. Williams will backpedal now. Gets by Malbeck. Strides into the right edge of the paint. Shot won't go from 7 feet. Nice job by McClure. Then he extends the elbows for a little protection after the rebound. Leaves off for Galliard. Galliard had it poked away. McClure will recover the loose ball at the left wing. Now Josh McClure lost it. Here comes Tiberius Ewell. He drives in and dumps Chancellor Mormon to the deck. They're going to call it a foul, and the bucket is good. Wow. Mormon tried to hustle back and play some defense. Ewell gave him the right shoulder and then rose up for 2. And got the bucket to go full speed. 16-8 cuts into the Colonels' lead a bit and chance to do more damage from the free throw line with 6:41 left to play in the second. Free throw on the way is good. Jamal Thornhill will check in the ball game for Chancellor Mormon. And Coach Brandon Barksdale wants to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with him. It's 16-9. Colonels on top over William Campbell on 105.5 KD Country.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Nice three-point play converted by Tiberius Ewell. Gives William Campbell some energy and some life. Coach Brandon Barksdale takes the timeout, possibly to adjust the defensive alignment, but it looks like they're still in the man-to-man, Oscar. Galliard just outside the left edge of the paint, stuck looking for somewhere to go. Hands off to Josh McClure. Now he's stuck between the baseline and the defender, Josh Rosser. Two-man game now between Galliard and McClure. It's been McClure back to Galliard. Now finally they get Malback involved in the left corner. Malback working for some space, steps around the defender, cans the bucket, floating to his right. Nice play there by Mateo Malback, 18-9 Colonels.
Boy, Josh McClure is almost playing like a point forward tonight. A lot of ball handling, a lot of activity.
Nice charge taken by Lawrence Galliard. He saw Boyd with the full head of steam coming in from the three-point line. Got the feet planted, took the charge. That's the first foul on Khalil Boyd. 9th one on William Campbell as a team. Colonels lead 18-9. Back to Josh McClure as the point forward kind of idea for a second, Oscar. Not a bad thought for the Colonels because Josh can really pass that thing. Thinking about shooting now. Now he'll one-handed over right wing to Jamal Thornhill. Galliard driving in, left-hand finish will go. And Galliard was hampered there. Hey, they're letting him play again tonight, boys.
Boy, the thing that as a sophomore that Lawrence Galliard's developed his left and right hand just shows to the talent that this kid's going to be and to the hard work ethic that he has.
Yeah, that's a tough finish with some contact, moving quickly, and then to switch over and go to the left hand, pretty special there. Colonels have a 20-9 lead, and they've got the basketball away from William Campbell.
Most high school kids will go to their dominant hand in that situation.
Malback, three-pointer. Ooh, in and out, no good. Jamal Thornhill did a nice job to try and run down the rebound, but it's controlled by Tiberius Ewell. Ewell's going to jog it in the front court now. Malback guarding him man-to-man, giving him about a 4-foot cushion, thinking about a screen. Colonels will get through it. Now it's over to Traquan Williams. Josh Rosser, top of the key, wants to drive. Now shovels off right wing to Tiberius Ewell. That three-pointer a little bit too strong. Raced down by Nick Witcher. Another three ball up from Khalil Boyd. That won't go. Rebounded underneath the hoop by Lawrence Galliard. Colonels bringing it up the far sideline, working left to right from Oscar and I's perspective.
Nice.
McClure steps around the defender in transition and scores. 22-9. Good job by Josh McClure. He really brought it up about 60 feet of that basketball court for two.
We'll use that little European step that becomes so popular and did a nice job with it.
We've seen the Colonels really use that Euro step effectively, probably more so than some other teams, to get by that defender. You know, that defender will plant their feet expecting a charge or expecting you to pull up, and when they just step by, there's really no answer.
I mean, Galliard can use it. McClure can use it. We've seen Daquan Poindexter use it.
Colonels running the motion offense. 5 guys out. McClure moving to the low post now, possibly. Top of the key to Cameron Hughes. Hughes wants to drive. Oh, very nice. Cameron Hughes circles the defense, curls to the bucket for two. 24-9.
And that all came off of patience and Colonels running their offense, staying committed to it, keeping their spaces, setting their picks. And, again, that was a great job of running the offense.
William Campbell basketball along the far sideline. 3:44 left to play in the second quarter. Now it's up to the top of the key to Josh Rosser. Rosser just sort of walking to his right. He'll send it off to Traquan Williams for an NBA-style three that won't fall. He was closer to the sideline than he was the three-point line. Colonels rebound, clear. Now they're into the front court. One-hand bullet pass goes to Daquan Poindexter. You're going to whistle Daquan Poindexter for a foul?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, they got Poindexter with the offensive foul. So give some credit to William Campbell. That looked like Tiberius Ewell that may have stood in there and taken the contact. Official made a gesture with his elbow there. I didn't see Daquan bring the elbow up, but we don't have the best vantage point up here at the press box.
No.
3:22 left to play in the English as your complete home center. Second quarter. This is Boyd, who lost the defender momentarily behind the back dribble. Now he'll retreat back to the right sideline. Boyd's pretty special with the handles out there, and he has caused Aquan Poindexter to foul him. Poindexter just reached in and got enough of Khalil Boyd. That's the 7th foul on the Altavista Colonels. That means Khalil Boyd will trot to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the first half. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Thanks so much for tuning in wherever you are. Free throw rattles in and out and won't fall for Khalil Boyd. There's Cameron Hughes with the rebound. He'll bring it up into the front court. Now off to the far sideline to Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill underhand layup won't go. William Campbell wants to run the other way. Watch out. Thornhill's going to try and get it back from Boyd. Boyd in and out of traffic. Lay-in won't go. Chancellor Mormon on the rebound. Had to run his way out of danger, but does so successfully. Now he'll bring it up just right of center.
Talked about Khalil Boyd from the free throw line. 2 of 5.
Wow, how about that? Cameron Hughes boxing out well and getting free, grabs a missed Mateo Malback shot and just sticks it up and in for 2. Really nobody there to stop Cameron Hughes. Oh, Malback creates a steal. Now it's Mormon in on the act. Shovels off to Cameron Hughes. Cameron Hughes up and under laying with some English won't fall. Traquan Williams got back and played some defense nicely for William Campbell. McKenna Neighbors into the front court. He wants to try the first shot he can find. That won't go. Now it's Khalil Boyd. Boyd for 3 is good. Splashes in the nylon, 26-12. That cuts into the Colonels' lead. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the half. Getting a little hectic out there again, Mr. Briggs.
Well, William Campbell likes that hectic style. We've seen that before.
34-13 at half, Lady Colonels lead in Altavista. That's a big Lady Colonel lead at half. McClure, catch and shoot 3. Hit the back of the iron, would not fall down. There's Nick Witcher on the rebound. Pardon me, that's Evan Daniel on the rebound. I beg your pardon. Khalil Boyd wants to drive. Another awkward layup, floating away to his right. It hit the window, and then the iron wouldn't fall. They're going to whistle Cameron Hughes with the personal foul. 8th one on the Colonels as a team. Boyd was in the act anyway.
And I'm telling you, the best defense against Khalil Boyd is to hack him.
Well, you're going to run through some players doing that. I mean, the Colonels have already committed 8 fouls as a team. But I'm not disagreeing with you, Mr. Briggs. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Boyd is one of those crafty scorers who can get it in from anywhere and everywhere. Evidence from the 33 points he dropped against Nelson County Wednesday night. You know the man can score.
3 of 7 right now from the free throw line.
I would say one of Boyd's great strengths is the unorthodox stuff, hitting you from those odd angles that you're not expecting. So if you put him on the free throw line, he's right there. You know where he's at then. You know what I mean? He can't get you from the odd angles. Jacob Adams lost the basketball. This is Boyd that's picked it up. He went to the basket, and Malback pinned it off the backboard. McKenna Neighbors grabs the loose ball and picks it up, sticks it in for 2.
That was just great hustle by Mateo Malback.
Absolutely. Malback going to try and dribble drive. Lost the basketball. It's on the floor. Scrum for it now. Wrestling match. Malback and number 4, Joshua Rosser, end up on the floor for it. Looks like Rosser bumped his head. On the court right now for the Colonels, Mateo Malback, Jacob Adams, Traquan Farmer, Jamal Thornhill, and Chancellor Mormon. Now Lawrence Galliard will check in the ball game for Farmer. Colonels in the road, black jerseys. It's William Campbell basketball with 1:16 left to play in the half. They got to go the length of the court to score. Colonels just going to drop back in the half court, man-to-man defense.
Boy, we're having a ball.
We're always having a ball here at William Campbell, but even more so tonight. I mean, there's a party up here in this press box. We talk about join the party on the radio. It's in the press box tonight. Generals lost the basketball, but it's a foul against the Altavista Colonels.
Guess who's back at the line? Khalil Boyd.
Broken record now, right? Second foul on Chancellor Mormon.
Both teams with 9 team fouls. They're going to have to replace their P's at halftime. Talking about the officials and their whistles.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe replace the light bulbs up there in the foul section on the scoreboard.
I think most of those need replacing anyway.
Second one goes down for Khalil Boyd. He makes both. 26-17. Single-digit lead for the Colonels. First time it's been that in a while. William Campbell's had a decent little stretch of basketball here in the last 2.5 minutes. Thornhill driving. Finger roll finish goes down. Thornhill had to protect himself as he went into the back wall after the bucket. 28-17. Bumps the Colonels' lead back up to 11. There's another wild layup. This time it's Tyrell Staten. He hits the deck hard. McKenna Neighbors hit the ground hard. It's like Demolition Derby, Oscar. There's banged-up cars flying everywhere. Tyrell Staten is going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Colonels can't believe it. They thought they played pretty good defense.
What's going on?
Coach Harris walking over to ask the official scorer, how many fouls do we have? There's 41.4 seconds left. I'm sort of trying to figure out what's going on, too. A bunch of people walked to the sideline like there was a timeout. There was no timeout.
Or either there was an intentional foul.
Yeah.
A flagrant one or whatever. But everybody's in place now.
Tyrell Staten, the left-handed shooter, will head to the free throw line finally after a slight delay. First free throw short and off the mark.
Yet to score tonight. Unusual.
I have a feeling that'll change.
Oh, absolutely.
Second quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. And a big shout-out to Brent and Don and the whole gang down there at English's. Staten's going to discuss some things with the Generals beyond the three-point ring. Now he'll turn and fire that one in. Maybe that's what he needed to do. He needed to get his mind off the free throw and just talk about something else with the guys momentarily.
Well, he got iced unintentionally.
Suppose so. 28-18. Colonels lead by 10. Daquan Poindexter will work to the middle of the court. Motion offense against the man-to-man defense from William Campbell. Colonels working left to right from our perspective. Galliard dribbling along the head of the key. Now it's over to the left point to Daquan Poindexter. Malbeck had to race down a loose ball. Now he lost on the pass. Staten saves it back in. William Campbell going the other way. Nice spin move at midcourt by Tiberius Ewell. Angling to his right. He'll get a poke check there as Malbeck just got enough of them to warrant a whistle. It was on the ground, but it doesn't matter. It's the 10th team foul on Altavista, so it's a two-shot foul regardless. Well, 7.5 seconds left, Oscar.
That foul was going to happen after Mateo threw the ball away. He was going to foul somebody. He had two other opportunities. He just couldn't catch up to him.
He had the look in his eye like he wanted to get the basketball back, didn't he? I'm with you on that one. First free throw converted by Tiberius Ewell, the senior, for William Campbell. Second one rolls around the rim and finally drops down into the bucket. It's an 8-point lead now for Altavista. Then a good second quarter for William Campbell, all things considered. 4 seconds left. Malbeck's going to look at the clock and set up a play. Driving, gets to the edge of the paint, shot off the window, but would not fall down. It would have counted. It got off in time. We have played one half of basketball. Altavista leading by 8, 28-20 over William Campbell. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant, so we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 28-20 as we arrive at the Subway halftime show. My name is Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs. An update from the Lady Colonels affair. It's 34-13. It was 34-13 at the halftime break down in Altavista. So it looks like the Lady Colonels in good shape to win their 10th in a row. And a shout out to anybody listening to us down there. I know Robbie Rice likes to tune in. I know Chancellor Mormon's mom is probably listening right now, rooting the girls on and rooting the guys on at the same time. Technology is a beautiful thing, Mr. Briggs. Let's put the focus back on this game, though, momentarily anyway. Second quarter, it seemed like Altavista had the blowout gear ready. They had a nice little stretch there in the first 2 or 3 minutes of that second quarter. Then all of a sudden, William Campbell started playing more of the basketball they wanted.
It did. Colonels had stretched the lead out, and Colonels only outscored them by 2 in that quarter after outscoring William Campbell by 6 in the first. And William Campbell got it into a little bit of a scramble mode. The Colonels did a good job with their offense late in that second half, but they were able to create some loose ball situations and capitalized on those.
And they did seem to score more regularly from the free throw line. Boyd knocked down a few more free throws. They converted the three-point play at one time. It was not a bad quarter there, at least the second half of that quarter, for Brandon Barksdale and his squad. I think he's probably pretty pleased heading into the locker room. Now he knows his team's still down 8, and it's an uphill battle. This is the Subway halftime show. Oscar and I will discuss some adjustments both teams may want to make here as the halftime show progresses. Remember, 3 great locations at around Altavista, pardon me. Of course, on Main Street, then also in Walmart on Clarion Road and further up the road on Route 29 inside Foster Fuels. Hey, all regular subs are $6 all February long at Subway. Let's step aside. It's a 28-20 lead. Altavista on top. Subway halftime show returns right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Well, your heating system.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon with Best Bet Motor Sales. Home of your 60-second guaranteed credit approval. We have 2 locations to serve you. Our first location is 29 South, 5 minutes past the airport, and location number 2 is 29 North, right in Amherst. We have over 75 clean, low mileage, late model, pre-owned vehicles for you to choose from, low down payments, low monthly payments, and warranty on all vehicles. So don't forget, guaranteed credit approval. Best Bet Motor Sales.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns from William Campbell High School. An energetic and excitable crowd here tonight, Oscar. They had a middle school dance earlier, and some of those kids came along. It was senior night, so it's a good group of people here in the gymnasium tonight. I would argue that it's helping the Generals a bit on the court. Maybe it's not a true sixth man, but certainly some energy there to feed off of, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it, I agree. I'm kind of watching the cheerleaders doing a routine here and kind of kept the players from warming up. And William Campbell players were sitting there watching the halftime show. And, hey, I don't blame them.
Well, you know, in the NBA, the cheerleaders come out there all the time. It seems like they're out there when the game's going on. Of course, the NBA, they play the music when the game's going on, too.
I watch about 2 quarters of NBA action a year. I happened to turn on the other night and watch Steph Curry against the
Wizards the other night.
And the first quarter was the only way I know how to describe it. It was sick. He was 7 of 8 from 3, 2 of 2 from 2, had 25 points in the first quarter. And, I mean, his threes were absolutely 5-6 feet behind the three-point line. It was incredible to watch. He barely played in the second quarter at all, and I think he's up with 35 at the half or something. Just sick.
Yeah, the high school three-point line is 20 feet. The NBA three-point line is 24 feet. And they talked about Oscar from 28 feet and beyond. Steph Curry is over 40%. So on those long-range ones, he's better than most guys are when they toe the three-point line. I mean, he's just ridiculous.
Well, he's better than a lot from two-point range.
Very good point. Very good point. I think he had 51 in that game against the Wizards. Well,
free throw line, let's talk about today.
Yeah, I was going to say, enough about Steph Curry. Let's talk about these guys.
Yeah, first half, William Campbell 9 of 14 from the free throw line. The Colonels 8 of 10.
Very nice.
Stark difference from Appomattox. Scoring for Appomattox. Scoring for Altavista, Cameron Hughes with 4, Mateo Malbeck with 4, Daquan Poindexter with 1, Chancellor Mormon with 2, Traquan Farmer with 2, Lawrence Galliard with 7, Jamal Thornhill with 2, and Josh McClure with 6. 8 players scored for the Colonels. For William Campbell, they had 4 players that scored. McKenna Neighbors with 4, Tiberius Ewell with 5, Terrell Staten with 1, and Khalil Boyd led all scorers with 10.
Let me ask you this about the free throws, and there's not one steadfast answer here. That's why I'm going to throw it out there. Do you think the pressure situation of the Appomattox game had something to do with some of those free throws getting missed? I mean, I know you want to make all of them. Don't get me wrong. I know they're all important. But does the fact that maybe you respect William Campbell a bit more than you do William Campbell, or you respect Appomattox, pardon me, a little bit more, do you think that has something to do with it?
I'm certainly situational. There was some pressure there as the game got tight that Appomattox continued to cut into the lead. That everything gets a little bit tighter.
Yeah. Well, again, you got to build confidence. You got to start somewhere. So I think the Colonels are very pleased that they have improved the number 8 for 10 in the first half from the free throw line, as Oscar mentioned. We're going to wrap up the Subway halftime show, and the teams are going to return to action. We didn't even talk about it. William Campbell's got a pep band in the house tonight, too.
And they sound good.
They do. They're getting it done. It's a nice energy here in the gym at William Campbell.
I tell you, if I'm Coach Troy Harris, I'd go inside early. Nick Witcher's got 3. He's starting the second half. I'd go right at him.
Excellent point. I was going to ask you about maybe 1 or 2 adjustments from each ball club. I think that's absolutely right. Very quickly, what do you think about William Campbell to get back in this thing and erase the 8-point deficit?
They got to continue to shoot well from the free throw line. They're out in the zone now, 2-3 it looks like.
So there's at least an early tactical adjustment from the Generals in the 2-3 zone. They do try to go to Galliard at the free throw line. He's triple teamed momentarily, has to get rid of it. Opening seconds of the third quarter here on 105.5 KD Country. It's the Altavista Colonels and the William Campbell Generals. Colonels in the road black jerseys working right to left this half. Poindexter gets just outside the paint. Shot won't fall. Look at Malbeck. First tip in wouldn't go. Second one did. He just swatted at it, Oscar, like it was a gnat up there above him, and somehow got a fingertip on it, and it went in.
Well, he wanted to pad his rebounding stats.
He got 2 rebounds. Of course, the field goal percentage might have fallen a little bit. Now Malbeck's got a steal on the near sideline. Shovels it backwards to Daquan Poindexter. Colonel's on the move now. They'll slow it down a little bit as Poindexter stops at the three-point line and sends it off to McClure. 7:04 left to play in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by English is your complete home center. Bullet pass down low to McClure along the baseline. He finishes at an awkward angle. How about Malbeck really turning it up? First the tip in, and then the line drive two-hander to find McClure underneath. He wants to get out and run now. 3-on-2 fast break. Poindexter tried to skip it down low to Malbeck, but he couldn't get it there. Mateo giving chase along Tiberius Ewell. Ewell finishes with Malbeck right behind him in the back door. Nice play there. 32-22. Coach Harris urging his team to slow it down a little bit and get set up in a half-court offense.
Well, Bob Alves and I talked about the other night that Josh McClure really thrives on contact. He likes to have that contact when he's down low and puts that shot up.
Sometimes when he doesn't get contact, he misses the shot because
Absolutely.
he's expecting.
That's exactly what we talked about.
10-point lead for the Colonels. Crossover dribble now, a one-hand pass from McClure over to Mormon. Maulback going to trigger the three. Skips off the front of the iron, no good. Galliard's going to race it down, throws it into Poindexter. They're going to say he had a foot on the line when he rose up in the air to save it. William Campbell basketball, 6:07 left to play in the third. Generals trail by 10. They're working left to right from Oscar and I's perspective here, high in the press box at William Campbell. There's a steal from Mateo Maulback, looking for help, couldn't find it. Bounced it out of bounds. Couple bodies hit the deck. Nicholas Witcher sort of fell over Chancellor Mormon.
Chancellor was breaking towards the basket. Mateo caught him out of the corner of his eye, flipped the pass to him, and Chancellor had really broken his route off. And just one of those situations where you throw the ball anticipating the player to be there, and he's made a different move.
We're just 2 minutes into this third quarter, but Maulback has the look to me like he wants to do some serious damage here in the third quarter. He looks like he's playing with intent right now. Poindexter's going to bring it up just left of center. There's Galliard, now just a short pass to Maulback. Maulback holds it over his head, wings it up top to Daquan Poindexter. Looks like William Campbell back in the man-to-man now. They didn't stay in the 2-3 zone very long. They bounce it in the extended low post to McClure. He shovels it back out. Right wing to Poindexter. Three-pointer hit the backboard and wouldn't go. Here comes William Campbell on the breakout. Ewell grabs the long rebound, stepping inside. Shot was altered by Galliard and wouldn't go down. Now it's Maulback very quickly to the Colonel's hoop. Up and under layup won't go. Loose ball rebound controlled by McClure. McClure one head fake to the window. Shot doesn't go, and he is fouled. Going to go back to the free throw line again. 5:12 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels lead by 10.
That's the third on McKenna Neighbors. He's disagreed with all three of them.
Well, I guess if you're a competitor, you probably are. Well,
sure.
I don't know. I suppose maybe there's one or two where you're like, yeah, I know I got them. But out of the 5 fouls you get, you'll probably disagree with 4 of them, right? Yep. On any given night. First free throw too strong from Josh McClure. Remember, third quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Your headquarters for Pratt and Lambert Paint. Free throw went down. Khalil Boyd might have stepped in the lane too early. Doesn't matter, not a violation because the shot went in. Colonels extend the lead to 11. Here's Boyd. Fall away. Oh, my goodness. He does it again from any angle. Fading away from the basket. Gets it to go for 2. And now all of a sudden it's a 9-point Colonel lead. McClure, free throw line jumper. Softly hit the front of the iron. Rebounded by Daquan Poindexter. He had it wiped out of his hands, and that's a foul on McKenna Neighbors. Going to be his 4th one. Second one on William Campbell this half. Second one on McKenna Neighbors this half. And we'll see what Brandon Barksdale decides to do. I think he's going to go to the bench and get a man for him. Foul trouble seems to be mounting for William Campbell. Daquan Poindexter, line drive, flat free throw, doesn't go in, hit the back of the iron. As soon as we say Altavista's getting better from the free throw line, Oscar, all of a sudden they hit a bit of a bump in the road.
Yeah, 1 for 3 here in the second half.
Galliard with the orangish yellow shoes, the Nikes. That one in and out, no good. They'll call a lane violation on the Altavista Colonels this time. That basketball will automatically go over to William Campbell. Colonels haven't used the full court pressure much in the past week or so, Oscar. Seems like they haven't used the zone defense since, I don't know, December. There's a steal from Lawrence Galliard. Galliard checking the defense. Lay in with the right hand will fall. It was contested there from Lawrence Galliard. He came in from the right side nicely. I think Lawrence would have preferred to dunk, but he'll take the 2 points anyway.
I like the discretion he used, and he had the opportunity. Read the defense well and decided that he wasn't going to get the opportunity to dunk.
Tiberius Ewell floats and fires from the right side. That goes down for 2. Back and forth basketball now. The Generals have cut the Altavista lead to 9 again. Daquan Poindexter lost the pill. Here comes a 3-on-2 fast break. Staten tried to shovel it underneath to Ewell. Ewell's going to circle it back out. Chancellor Mormon has a steal now. McClure wants to slow it down. He'll bring it up the far sideline himself. Left-hand dribble. Going right down Broadway to the front of the iron. Won't go. Galliard with the stick back. Won't go. There's a rebound from William Campbell. This is Boyd behind the back dribble to the right wing. Now he'll stride into the free throw line. Bounce pass finds Tyrell Staten. That's thrown to the baseline looking for Traquan Williams. Williams couldn't find the angle to get it to Nick Witcher, and it's another steal for the Colonels. Again, it has been sloppy at times. It has been ugly at times. It's had some nice moments, but for the most part, neither coach is going to really love watching this game on the film afterwards. Another turnover by the Colonels, and then another turnover by William Campbell. It's almost getting to be tough to watch as both teams are throwing the basketball away with such regularity. No coach could be pleased. There's a give-and-go play. Malback got it back from Galliard. Mateo was going to send it down low to the left post to Josh McClure, but that ball was batted up into midair off of William Campbell. Here's a timeout from Brandon Barksdale and the Generals. Let's take it with them. Altavista leading by 9. 3:08 left to play in the third on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Oscar and I return to William Campbell High School. Chancellor Foreman working to get it on the baseline. He does finally toss it off on a short pass to Josh McClure. Then McClure had it bat out of his hands back into the out-of-bounds section. Altavista will redo. They'll inbound underneath their own scoring bucket with 3:06 left to play in the third quarter. It bounced it into Malback, and Malback cannot find the handle. Another turnover, Oscar, and you and I were discussing moments ago. We saw a sequence of 3 turnovers in about 5.5 seconds. That was part of a greater sequence where it was, I think 5 turnovers in about a 20-second span.
Looked like a ping-pong ball going back and forth across the table.
And that's not an exaggeration, folks. I mean, that's not me trying to be funny or cute or make it seem more exciting than it is. There have been a lot of turnovers here lately. There's a foul on the Altavista Colonels. That was Traquan Williams working across the lane to his right, trying to send up a right-handed jump shot. He was knocked to the hardwood, and he will now go to the charity line with 2:49 left to play in the third. It's a 35-26 Colonel advantage.
Williams' first point of the night as he knocks down the first of 2. Interesting to see Mr. Juan Thornhill in the house tonight after the announcement from UVA football coach earlier this week that they may not even have spring practice.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. I heard that, too. It would be interesting to see how that pans out. Bronco Mendenhall's a smart guy, though. I'm sure he's got some kind of a trick up his sleeve.
But he said they had to earn spring practice, so.
There you go. Lawrence Galliard grabbed the offensive board but couldn't stick it back in from close range. Now Cameron Hughes has got a rebound from close range. He thought it was poked away off Khalil Boyd's hands. Referee disagrees. Basketball going to the William Campbell Generals. It is good to see Juan Thornhill in the house anytime he can make it. I know he listens quite a bit when he can't make it. Father Rodney Thornhill, a big Colonel fan too, might be listening right now. There's a steal from Cameron Hughes. Just took it right away from Traquan Williams. Colonel's going the other way. Back to Hughes at the right wing. He's in trouble now, looking for somewhere to go. Finds Mateo Malback along the right baseline. That's swatted out of bounds by the Generals. It'll restart things, and the Colonels will inbound with 2:13 left to play in the third. They lead by 8. It's a 35-27 Altavista lead. Here comes Malback. He'll sprint to his right, leaves it off to the left to Galliard. Now it's back to Malback on the right side of the paint. Malback dumped to the deck again, no whistle. Just got to play through it tonight. William Campbell going the other way. Boyd lost it. Staten has it. His lay-in from the left side won't fall. Galliard grabs a rebound underneath the backboard. Up the far sideline to Mormon. Malback gets up in the air, shields the basketball with his body as Josh Rosser commits the foul. Malback finally got the whistle he wanted moments ago, and it'll send Mateo Malback to the free throw line with 1:49 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels lead by 8.
That's the same lead they held at the half. Mateo knocks down the first. 1:49 remaining here in the third quarter. Colonels leading 36-27.
On the court for the Colonels, Lawrence Galliard, Josh McClure, Cameron Hughes, Chancellor Mormon, and Mateo Malback, who's at the free throw line waiting for the second one. It's up, nice rotation, and in. 37-27, Colonels stretch it back out to a 10-point lead. Some full court pressure here from Altavista. They'll back off it momentarily. Look at the job Chancellor Mormon is doing on Khalil Boyd. He's all over him like a pit bull on a ham hock. Boyd lost him momentarily and now gives off to Joshua Rosser. His three ball too strong. Rebound on the weak side along the baseline by Cameron Hughes. Hughes up the far sideline, used a behind-the-back dribble to alleviate some of the defensive pressure. Colonels will slow it down now and take some air out of the basketball with 1:22 left to play in the third. 37-27, Altavista on top. Galliard between the circles, left wing to Cameron Hughes. Throws it to the left post to Josh McClure. McClure, nice up and under move. Shot won't fall. Got his own rebound. Second chance won't go, but he's fouled.
Boy, Josh has to finish on that first one. He was wide open. Got a little contact. Was able to get the rebound and go back up again.
On the court for the William Campbell Generals, Khalil Boyd, Tyrell Staten, Josh Rosser, Evan Daniel, and Traquan Williams. Colonel scoring on the left-hand bucket from Oscar and I's perspective. So glad you could join us. Hopefully you're listening in on the TuneIn app somewhere out there across this great countryside, or maybe you're just listening on 105.5 down there on Bedford Avenue somewhere.
Josh McClure goes into double figures with 10 on making that free throw. Calmly knocks down the second.
McClure, the second leading scorer on the team, Oscar, and with Nelson Dews not available for tonight's game, that makes McClure the leading scorer of the guys that are available.
Nothing gets by you.
Does that make sense?
Nothing gets by you.
That's kind of like your Musburger. It's either going to be a first down or it's not. Three-pointer from Khalil Boyd, too strong. We might as well have a little fun up here. Everybody else is. Cameron Hughes driving in from the right side. Got the layup to go.
Cameron Hughes didn't have the best game against Appomattox. He's had a nice game tonight.
Bouncing back well, playing hard. Going to try and get in Khalil Boyd's face there. He did sort of alter the shot from Khalil Boyd. Lawrence Galliard comes away with the rebound. McClure lost it out of bounds. Tyrell Staten now with some disagreement with the official. Didn't even acknowledge Tyrell Staten. That maybe is the best way to handle it. I mean, don't say no. I had the call right. Just walk away. That
is C.R. Thompson, and this is far and away not his first rodeo.
One of the best in the business. Down to 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Here's Galliard rising up, firing. Shot won't go. McClure tried to tip it back in with one hand instead of controlling it. Here comes Boyd. Boyd, stutter step, changes speeds, up and under layup won't go. There's a stick back from Evan Daniel. Daniel gets it to go with 14 seconds left. Colonels would love to get another buzzer beater off. They lead 41-29, down to 7 seconds. Malbach's in the front court, going to move to his left off a Galliard screen. Three ball didn't even draw iron. Hey, Campbell could have had a chance for a buzzer beater, but they just held on to it. We've played 3 fantastic quarters of basketball here. The Colonels lead 41-29. Fourth quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal Exterior Paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
3 quarters in the books here from William Campbell. 8 more minutes of regulation basketball to go. Altavista on top, 41-29. I'm Kyle Haney. He's the big O, Oscar Briggs. Agent Zero. I don't know how I see it shaping up here in the fourth quarter, but I will tell you, William Campbell's got a fighting chance.
Well, they do have a fighting chance, and the sloppier they can make it, the better chance they have. They can get the Colonels into that hectic offense and make them rush shots, and William Campbell can play defense relatively well. They've done a good job mixing up the man and the zone.
Yep. And if you're not a big-time basketball fan, don't take Oscar's comment the wrong way. That's not a knock on William Campbell. But their game is to thrive on those loose balls, create some turnovers. They know they're going to have some turnovers of their own, so they know they've got to create some. They get the other team out of their element a little bit. They make you play their style of basketball, really, is what they do. There's a turnover there by Altavista. Now Galliard gets it back. Cameron Hughes in the front court. A 4-on-1 for the Colonels, and Mormon calmly deposits the layup with the left hand for two. Nice job by Altavista.
Off the nice feed.
It was a nice feed. Staten driving in, rejected away by Lawrence Galliard. Galliard says, no, sir, that won't work here. He probably didn't really say that, but that was what the body language indicated to me anyway. William Campbell basketball.
In their 12 wins, the Colonels are averaging 60% of their baskets have assists associated with them. In their losses, it's 38% of their baskets are scored with an assist. So,
yeah, you told me about that before Tuesday's game, or a variation of that anyway.
And that stats remain pretty consistent through that Appomattox game, too.
There's a steal by Cameron Hughes. Man, he is hustling tonight, Oscar. Gets down on the floor to protect the loose ball. I think they're going to call somebody from the Generals for a foul. Yep, they're going to get Tyrell Staten. No, they're not. They're going to get number 25. That is Nick Witcher for a foul. That's his fourth. 15 foul on William Campbell. Jamal Thornhill at the scores table. He wants to check back in. Yeah, remind me to get back to that assist number next time we have a moment, maybe on the next two-shot free throw or something like that. 7:08 left to play. In the English's, your complete home center, fourth quarter. Chest-high dribble. Maulback will just walk it in the front court between the circles. Here's Thornhill down on the left corner. Ooh, spin move to get by his man. Now driving. Lay in, won't fall. Hughes tries to tip it back up. Even had a second chance to look at it. They're going to whistle Cameron Hughes with a foul. That one, not much disagreement from Cameron. I think he knew he went over the man's back.
You can, and if you're Coach Harris, you absolutely don't mind that foul. That's a hustle foul. That's his second foul. And, again, trying to keep the ball alive off the offensive boards, you'll take that type of effort.
I would agree. You like the way Cameron Hughes is playing. He's really getting after it tonight offensively and defensively. Nice stutter step move by Ewell to get by Jamal Thornhill, driving along the right baseline. Then he's fouled. Foul is on Jamal. He just got him up in the air with the pump fake, and Jamal Thornhill was in recovery mode from there on out.
They're going to call that in the act of shooting?
First free throw will fall in from Tiberius Ewell. Rattled it around off the iron and down. Colonels lead by 13 now. 6:42 left to play in the fourth quarter.
Coach Harris was admonished by one of the officials. I mean, admonished.
Well, they've had their work cut out for them tonight. I'll tell you that. Those three guys have had to get up and down the court with the players. It hasn't been an easy game to call because, let's be honest, if you called a foul on every play, we'd still be about in the first quarter and both teams would be out of players. It's been kind of a rough basketball game. I don't think anything malicious or chippy or any of that extracurricular stuff. There's a whistle on Cameron Hughes as he took too many steps. His shot went up and in from about 7 feet.
And here comes Daquan Poindexter. He'll be replacing Cameron Hughes, most likely.
Probably right. Boyd, step back two-pointer from about 17 feet, won't go down.
Barely drew iron.
Rebound by Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill's in the front court with 6:08 left to play. Colonel scoring on the left-hand bucket. Flips off to the left sideline to Josh McClure. McClure will hand it back to Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill dribbled inside the three-point ring. Now he retreats in trouble. There's a timeout from Coach Harris. He sensed the danger and wanted to call a timeout to protect the possession. We'll take the timeout with him. 43-31. Colonels on top by 12, just under 6 to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
43-31, Altavista on top. Oscar, we got a second here. Get back to what you were talking about with that assist stat. You said in Colonel's wins, 60% of their buckets come off an assist, correct?
Correct.
An assisted basket. In losses, only 30%.
38.
Yeah. So, there's the difference right there. And it's probably, as you and I talked about, a combination of ball movement and man movement.
Absolutely, and being able to get on the break.
Sure.
Which it's a whole team stat because it's attributed to rebounding on the defensive end and being able to get the ball out on the break. It's staying in your offense. It's making sharp moves. It's making the right picks. It's showing patience.
Yep. It's all of those things. You're right. Colonel's going to show some patience here. They'll spread the court out. Most everybody gathered near the sidelines of the midcourt line. Here comes Thornhill. He wants to drive. Finger roll will go, but there's an offensive foul. Terrell Staten planted the feet. Really, he saw Thornhill coming from a long way away. I think the officials got the call right. Thornhill's got a little bit of a half smile. I think he knows the officials got the call right, too. Good job by Staten to stand firm. That's the third one on Jamal Thornhill. 43-31. Colonels lead by 12, but a nice defensive play there by William Campbell.
Look at Chancellor Mormon. Look at the look on his face.
He's got that look of determination in his eyes, doesn't he?
He loves the challenge, I can tell you. He loves the challenge. He's on Khalil Boyd now.
He's sort of the stopper for this team. Boyd shook him free momentarily, but the shot was woefully short. That one barely drew iron as well. I'll tell you, that's the thing that Mormon will do. He'll make you work so hard to get the ball that when you do try that jumper, the legs aren't under you. Poindexter driving, had a couple generals draped around his arms. He couldn't even shovel the basketball up to the iron, and there's a technical foul after the original foul. Daquan Poindexter's going to shoot 2 free throws. I think they got an Altavista player on the technical foul, Oscar. I'm not sure who they got. The official is pointing up into the stands now. But how? He was underneath the basket and pointed at one of the players. This is a strange situation.
Somebody from the Altavista, one of the Altavista fans is being summoned.
Did he call a technical foul on the Colonel's bench because of something the fans said? This is not something you see every day. Somebody over here on this left-hand side from us in the bleachers is stepping down. Daquan Poindexter does convert the first free throw, 44-31. I'm wondering what's going to happen here. No, this technical foul was on William Campbell because
that was a foul.
Mateo Malbec's wondering why isn't he shooting technical foul. I think Altavista thinks the technical was on William Campbell.
There was a personal foul. Daquan was shooting.
He shot his 2 free throws. If you call it technical foul, somebody's got to shoot 2 free throws somewhere.
Somebody's got to. That's right.
I guess that's what Troy Harris is asking about right now. Colonels don't mind. They're going to inbound it. Daquan Poindexter going to go again.
No.
Offensive foul
Absolutely
again.
Not.
An offensive foul again.
Not.
Tyrell Staten again taking the charge.
Daquan Poindexter had elevated, had taken off, and with apologies to Terrell Staten, he moved in under him.
I got to give Staten all the credit in the world, though, for standing in the way. But you're right. I think you're right. I think he moved in a little bit late there as well. Interesting stuff here, folks. And a good job by William Campbell to hang around in this game somehow. They do trail by 13, though, and with just under 5 to play, they need to get busy. I have a feeling the Colonel's defense is only going to tighten up after a little bit of frustration. Nice head fake from Staten. He wants to drive, gets right under the hoop, and then has a shot blocked, but they'll whistle a foul on the Colonels.
You're going to see whistle after whistle after whistle from this point forward.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think probably rightfully so. I think the referees realize that the game is getting, how should we phrase it, Oscar, a little crazy out there?
Well, yeah.
First
nice
free throw.
job.
Yep, first free throw rattles home by Tyrell Staten. Again, I want to give Staten all the credit in the world because he's taken 2 charges here in the last minute and a half. Both of them equally gutsy plays. We know he's a physical competitor on the gridiron and the hardwood. Drains both free throws, 44-33. The Altavista lead is at 11. Colonels have led ever since it was 2-2. They took a 4-2 advantage with about 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Watch for the Colonels to really, really run their offense here.
Poindexter in and out of traffic. They have teed up Coach Troy Harris. They've gotten Coach Harris on a technical foul now. Poindexter was driving to the basket and nearly dumped it off to McClure. I think it actually may be on the Colonel's bench on one of the assistant coaches, believe it or not. Official saying he doesn't want to hear any more of it. At least that's my best lip-reading operation. Gosh, I don't know what to say, Oscar. It's been one of those strange nights You and I sort of had a strange feeling when we walked up in the press box tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Free throws coming from Khalil Boyd. He sinks the first. It's a 10-point lead now for Altavista. See which team can use this strangeness, this craziness, this weirdness to their advantage. Or maybe nobody can use it to their advantage. Who knows? Second free throw will not fall for Khalil Boyd, but it's William Campbell basketball after the technical foul.
Somebody just texted me, said that they made a call to Ripley's. I don't know what that means.
Ripley's, believe it or not?
Yeah.
Wow, Poindexter might have gotten away with a shove on Traquan Williams. Then he tried a fall-away three-pointer that would not go. It's out of bounds on an air ball. Coach Brandon Barksdale for William Campbell. The picture of calmness over here on their sideline, urging his guys to get up and do some full-court press. Poindexter's going to throw it long. Malback has to sky up and take it out of the air, and then he loses it on the way down. William Campbell basketball after a Colonel turnover. 4:20 left to play in the fourth quarter. I'm going to really be interested to see the turnover numbers from this one in the stats. There's a steal from Daquan Poindexter. Stepped in front of a pass on the near sideline, then he is fouled going the other way. Stolen in the backcourt, then traveled about 60 feet right to the side of the iron, pardon me. Daquan Poindexter can't get the shot to go, but he's going to shoot a pair of free throws with 4:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. Big shout-out to any Lady Colonel fans that have tuned us in after their ball game. Lady Colonel's got the 68-40 win, 10 in a row now for Altavista. They're riding high. I believe they've got the number one seed locked up in Conference 44 as well.
Absolutely correct. Despite all the madness, Colonel still lead by 11. Daquan knocked down the first. Calmly misses the second. Rebound by Josh McClure. He fakes. He's up. He's fouled. That's McKenna Neighbors. If it is, that's his fifth.
Yeah.
He'll be done for the evening, and that's his last home game here.
Another technical foul.
Technical foul.
This one is on William Campbell. This is, I believe, on Traquan Williams. Williams is walking towards the sideline. He knows it's on him. This is.
I told you
really
it was going to be a
strange.
whistle fest from that point on.
And you were right. And you made a great comment there. Despite the madness. This is going to be the despite the madness game. This is so strange out here, folks. We've seen a technical foul against somebody we don't really know who because they didn't shoot any free throws after it. We saw a technical foul on the Colonel's bench, on the assistant coaches. We've now seen a technical foul on a player. We've seen numerous fouls not called. We've seen fouls called. There's a free throw missed by Josh McClure. And let me say it again. I do not envy the job the officials have to do because this is a hard one to officiate in many respects. 45-34. Colonel's on top by 9. Deep knee bend from McClure. That free throw will not go. They'll send Mateo Malback up to the free throw line to shoot the technical foul shots. Trying to rack my history banks here to find a game similar to this. Not having a lot of luck just off the top of my head, Oscar. Maybe if you think of something, you can bring it up.
Well, it had a little bit of ring of this when they played at Altavista.
Yeah. Some of that was at the end when the game was sort of decided. There was a little bit of bad blood out there.
Well, Colonel's just had 4 free throws and knocked down a whopping one of them.
Yeah.
So did not take advantage of that miscue by William Campbell.
And we talked about how good they had been from the charity stripe in the first half. They were 8 of 10 in the first half. Second half, not so good. Still Colonel's basketball, though, after the technical foul. McClure has it just left of center, now working to the middle of the court. Trying to cross over Tyrell Staten, lost the basketball. They're going to whistle Staten with a hand check foul as the ball went off the back wall. That is the 9th team foul on William Campbell, so it will produce a 1-and-1 shooting situation. 34-46. Colonel's on top.
9 of 16 from the free throw line in the second half.
So it's not terrible. It's better than 50%. Not as good as 8 of 10. Here comes McClure on the 1-and-1. That one will go. Nothing but net.
Maybe we should have somebody make contact with Josh on the free throw line.
I don't think you can send your own player. I mean, you've got to be either beyond the three-point line or in a space. I don't think anybody else can occupy that space, even if he's your teammate. I like the idea, though. Second one's good. 2 for 2, that trip for Josh McClure. Don't see brother Jacob McClure in the audience, so I'll assume he's listening tonight. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Jake, and thanks for serving our country, bud.
Jake the Snake. Here comes William Campbell in the front court. Ewell kind of lost his own footing for a bit, but got it back. Now he'll stride to the left-hand part of the lane. Inward spin move to the dish, and the lay-in won't go. McClure's in trouble on the baseline, and they'll whistle a foul on Nick Witcher.
And Nick Witcher will sit the bench. That's his fifth. And in fairness to Nick, he was just kind of – he's at the wrong place at the wrong time, just kind of standing there.
Yeah. That's a byproduct of, like you said, the refs wanting to call more fouls.
If that's in the first or second quarter and all the other stuff hadn't happened, that doesn't get called.
Right. Nick Witcher's night is done. He's the fifth general to foul out. Or, excuse me, he's the second general to foul out. Pardon me. McKenna Neighbors was the other. Josh McClure going to head back to a familiar place, the free throw line. Still 3:35 left to play in the contest. 48-34. Colonel's on top by 14.
That's the 10th free throw, 10th foul, so he'll be shooting 2.
Yep. First one's in. Sort of a knuckleball free throw from McClure on that one anyway. On the court right now joining Josh, Mateo Malback, Chancellor Mormon, Lawrence Galliard, and Daquan Poindexter.
And you look up and suddenly it's 49-34 with 3:35 remaining here, and Josh misses the second.
Staten grabs the rebound just outside of the paint on the left side for the Generals. Boyd's going to run it up middle of the court. Now behind the back dribble. Mormon's guarding him and making him work for it. Boyd sort of got by Mormon, and Mormon will commit a foul. I think he knows it. Boyd knows it, and it's going to send Khalil Boyd to the free throw line, probably to shoot 2. It's at least a 1-and-1 because it's the 8th team foul on Altavista. Did you think he was in the act, Mr. Briggs?
Yeah, their official said he was, so it's all that matters, really.
Yep. Well, and certainly the officials, as I said, have had a hard job tonight. Everybody in this gym has had an opinion at some point of a call they've made. Second one on the way, and that one will go on sort of a line drive free throw from Khalil Boyd. 49-35. Colonels lead by 14. Long pass into the front court to Galliard. Galliard with the hoop and one. Colonels get it in quickly, and then Daquan Poindexter, about a 50-foot chest pass up ahead with a little bit of arc on it to Lawrence Galliard. Galliard catches at the three-point line, drives in for 2, and is fouled. Galliard trying to catch his breath, hands on hips, awaiting the basketball to try and convert the old-fashioned three-point play. Herky-jerky stroke, but he knocks it down. 52-35. Colonels lead by 17 now. All of a sudden, a Colonels victory looking more apparent. Boyd, scoop layup will go. He does it again somehow. He gets it to fall. Split really the entire Colonels defense. Altavista continues to work hard on defense and offense. Mormon was making a beeline for the basket, but McClure didn't see him. Instead, gives it off to Galliard. Galliard floats to the right and fires. Can't go. Malback's got a rebound. That won't go. And McClure grabs the rebound away from Staten and dumps it back in for 2. 54-37. Colonel's working hard on the glass, working hard on D and on offense. Boyd gets by Mormon again, takes some contact, shovels it to the rim, hit the side of the backboard. He'll nonchalantly trot over to the free throw line because he's going to shoot 2. He was fouled in the process. Here's a final from our colleague and friend Bob Alvis. 81-32, Dan River beats Gretna. 81-32, Wildcats over the Hawks.
Boy, that Dan River team is good.
Seems like they're getting better and better each game, too. Colonels do play the Dan River Wildcats Monday at Altavista High School, and then it's on the road Tuesday to play the Gretna Hawks. Free throw converted by Boyd. He's got a second one on the way with 2:38 left to go in the fourth. That one won't go. McClure on the rebound on the right side. Sends it over far sideline to Daquan Poindexter. He'll angle to the left-hand dribble. Backs away from trouble momentarily. Now off to Chancellor Mormon. Mormon handoff play to Malback. Malback now hands it to Poindexter. Colonel's trying to milk a little bit of clock. They've got the floor spread. Poindexter double-teamed and in trouble. That's a foul as Josh Rosser wrapped both arms around him. Coach Harris going to take a full timeout. Let's take 30 seconds of it with him. 2:20 left to play in the ball game. 54-38. Colonels on top over William Campbell on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family
serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service.
A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Your home for high school sports for 53 years. It's 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Well, we haven't been around for all 53 years of it. Our good friends Ron Campbell and Charles Boley and Chester Brockwell, Mark Slusher, Bob Alvis, Dave Haney. Plenty of other names in that list, though, too, but those are the first that popped to mind. I'm sure they've seen some crazy games like this, though, Oscar, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Colonel's got the inbound on the far sideline. Poindexter throws it into McClure. McClure hands back to Poindexter. Mormon going to trigger the three. Back of the iron. Oh, hit off the back plate and wouldn't fall down. Looked like he had a chance to drop in. 2:10 left to play in the ball game. Campbell's in the front court now. This is Tiberius Ewell with the basketball. Spin move away from trouble. Shovels off to Josh Rosser. Rosser, two-hand pass to Boyd. Boyd wanted to sky up for a jump shot, but was bottled up by Mormon and Poindexter. Two-shot foul for Khalil Boyd here. Both teams have committed 10 fouls in a game that has been, if you've joined us late, it's been mostly Colonels. I won't say it's been all Colonels. William Campbell has had some flashes. Mostly Colonels, though. William Campbell led briefly at 2-0. Since then, it's been an entire Altavista lead the whole way.
9 fouls on both teams in the first half. 10, at least 10.
Yeah. Second free throw goes in for Boyd. Yeah, I'm trying to, in my brain, count up the number of fouls. Nearly impossible. Referees have started to tighten things up. There's a pickpocket steal. Malbeck lost in the backcourt.
Oh, my gosh.
Boyd got really just
He got mugged.
And they didn't call a whistle on that. Here comes Galliard. Stutter step move. Threw it up with the left hand. There's a foul and another technical foul. That foul is on Brandon Barksdale. That technical foul is on Coach Brandon Barksdale, who simply gave a thumbs up to the official.
He told the official that's the first call he's gotten right all night.
How many technical fouls now, Oscar? 3 officially, 4 unofficially, because we saw one where nobody shot any free throws, so we're not even sure if it was a technical foul, although the official clearly made the gesture. First free throw in and out, no good for Mateo Malbeck. Colonels could really, in this last stretch here, Oscar, focus on improving on the free throw line. They were very good in the first half. Second half, they've been over 50%, but not as good. Malbeck sinks the back end of those two. Well, clearly Coach Barksdale had the same viewpoint that you and I did on the fact that he thought Khalil Boyd got fouled in his attempt to shoot. I mean, Boyd just got completely blown up and dumped.
And then they were ready to call a touch foul.
Here comes Staten on a steal, ripped it away from Poindexter, then out races him to the dish for a lay-in. Good job by Tyrell Staten. He's still playing hard. Generals do trail by 13. 1:20 left to play to go in the ball game. Galliard, right-hand dribble, wanted to drive into the middle of the lane, but opted to throw it back out to Cameron Hughes. Now
Boy, just run the offense and don't even think about scoring at this point.
And there's a steal at midcourt by Josh Rosser. He poked it away from Poindexter. Hughes is going to scramble to get it back. Another timeout by Coach Troy Harris. He's not particularly pleased with the brand of basketball his guys are playing. Hey, let's take the timeout with them. Altavista on top, 55-42. 1:03 left to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Just over a minute left to play in the ball game. Colonels lead by 13. Inbound on the far sideline in the backcourt momentarily. Daquan Poindexter will break the timeline and hand off to Cameron Hughes. There's an intentional foul by Josh Rosser. I don't know if they'll call it an intentional foul. I guess he's trying to stop the clock with 56 seconds left.
2 free throws anyway.
Right. Wasn't making a play on the basketball.
Yeah, it wasn't a flagrant.
No, it wasn't. It was just to stop the clock. Devin Barber is going to check in the ball game for William Campbell. I believe that'll be his first action. Somebody really, I think the folks that have had the best game here tonight, Oscar, pretty much a no-doubter about what I'm going to say, are sound engineers.
Boy, they've done a great job, Rachel and Eleanor. Thank you so much for making us sound mediocre at best.
Tolerable.
At least the quality of the broadcast has been great.
Right. No, I think they've done an outstanding job. Certainly hasn't been these two broadcasters, although not our worst game in the world, I don't think. In our defense, some of these crazy plays out there aren't exactly easy to wrap your head around.
It's difficult to explain what's going on. And,
right.
When even officials are a little bit ambiguous about what's going on.
Three-pointer up from Tiberius Ewell won't go. Colonels throw it in the front court with a high arcing pass. Hughes driving, gets to the left side of the hoop and gets it to go with the right hand. Had to throw it high off the window and in. I don't think Coach Harris really wanted Cameron Hughes to go to the basket there, but in Cameron's defense, if you're going to go, you might as well score it, right?
It was a Khalil Boyd-esque.
Khalil Boyd-esque. Hughes will try for the three-point play. I love Cameron Hughes' hair, love the game. Wears the long sleeves, three-quarter length leggings. Does can the free throw. Gets the Colonels to 60. They lead 60-42. Under 40 seconds left to play now. I'm sure the Colonels would like nothing less than a defensive stop, maybe a turnover, put the cherry on top with one final bucket, or just hold on to it and run out the clock. 29.7 seconds left as the ball gets kicked out of bounds. This is William Campbell to inbound. Barber throws it into Ewell. Ewell studies the defense momentarily. Moving slowly to his left. Wants some movement out of his guys. Looking for a way to break down the defense. Barber, he'll try the three. Too strong. Rebounded by Daquan Poindexter. Colonels have 15 seconds left. You can kind of see McClure telling Daquan Poindexter, hey, just hold on to the ball. Nothing crazy here. McClure thinks about a three from the left wing, half-heartedly.
No, he didn't.
Cameron Hughes is going to hold it above his head. Now a couple dribbles. That'll do it. Final buzzer sounds. Altavista gets a strange win. 60-42. Subway postgame show on the way when we come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show has arrived. Colonels win this one 60-42. They led at halftime. They led at the end of the third quarter. And they lead at the end of the ball game Altavista improving to 13-4 on the season. I'm going to say, Coach Harris, I think maybe not too disappointed with this game. I know there's some areas where he needs to see improvement, but I think he's probably somewhat impressed with his guys for battling, for toughing it out against all the craziness, the contact, the calls, the no calls, the calls that went against him, the calls that went for him. He's seeing if he wants to come up here. I think he's going to make his way up here to the press box. We've seen a little bit of everything.
And I think it's one of those games that you just, write it off and you go back into practice tomorrow and forget it even happened. So let's let you talk to Coach Harris here.
Sure. You chime in from the Raptors there, Mr. Briggs. We'll let Coach Harris get the headphones on there, and we'll talk very briefly about this 60-42 win. Coach Harris, let's just throw it right out there. It wasn't textbook basketball. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. Are you somewhat proud of your guys, though, for fighting through all the contact, all the strangeness and the weird calls and still getting a win?
Yeah, absolutely proud of them. We harp on them on practice to behave through all the whatever's going on, whether it's the other team going crazy a little bit or the refs' questionable calls. I call them bad in practice all the time, and they flip out. And I'm like, why? You know it's going to happen in the game. And it's sort of becoming apparent to us that the refs may or may not be the best, and we just got to fight through it and keep our composure. So I'm proud of us of how we didn't act up there at the end.
Sure. And I've said it before, those three guys out there, I don't envy their task. They got to get up and down with the young guys. It is a hard job. They're human, too. But you're right. I mean, there were some calls both ways that kind of made you scratch your head.
Right.
How do you handle it as a coach? I mean, same way? Just got to kind of remind yourself of that?
Yeah, we got to behave a little bit better, too, I guess, because yelling foul at them probably doesn't make the situation any better. And, they got a couple tees, and we got a questionable one there on the bench arguing a foul, so we just got to behave a little bit better as well.
Oscar and I had a guy that really impressed us. I'll ask you that here in a second. Name one person that really, doesn't have to be one, but name somebody that stands out to you. He kind of smiled and scratched his head, folks. Does that mean you're thinking about it? You want me to tell us our guy first?
I got you. Well, you're putting me on the spot a little bit. Right after a game is probably not the best. I don't have time to reflect.
Let me tell you our guy then.
So I'm going to guess Josh in the paint mixing it up. Is that right or wrong?
That's not who I had in mind, but I don't disagree with you.
He mixed it up big time in the paint. I think he led us had double-digit rebounds maybe, or pretty close, so that's why I said him.
Well, such a physical presence out there. In a game like this that gets a little crazy and a little physical, it's nice to have a big, strong guy like Josh in there. The guy Oscar and I commented on was somebody whose minutes have kind of gone up and down, but Cameron Hughes really impressed us out there tonight. Seemed to be getting after it, running baseline to baseline. Again, he's one of those guys, his game is not always textbook, but he found a way to get it done.
He did score a few points tonight, which is something we were sort of expecting at the beginning of the year because he grew like 2 inches over the summer, and we were expecting him to come in and play big minutes, and it just hadn't happened yet. He finally stepped up big time, hit a few layups. We could get him shooting from deep, it would be a little bit better. But you're right, he did give us a little bit of an extra scoring presence.
Coach, we'll let you run. Go enjoy the win as much as you can anyway. We'll see you back Monday against the Dan River Wildcats. That's Troy Harris, head coach of the Altavista Colonels. Let's step aside for a timeout. We'll let Oscar back on. He's totaling some stats right now. One final segment on the Subway postgame show. Oh, yeah, we'll have the Radio Shack Player of the Game award as well. Colonels get to win 60-42 over William Campbell. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience